founder who just recently raised their Series B, and they were asking about what they should do when it comes to their brand strategy. Should they be thinking about a rebrand? Should they be refreshing it? They were asking about, what are some milestones for success that they should be thinking about right now?
That's a common question that we get from our clients or from potential clients at that stage, right? Because at Series B, you're really starting to move from kind of that startup phase to more of a scale up, right? And you're focused on bringing on new employees. You're probably moving out into different sales channels. You're probably focused on launching new products, and of course, brand and communications comes into the fold in a bigger way when you start to do those things, and also when you have more money to invest in those things. What we typically tell people is to take a look at their brand to date, right? Are you working with a kind of brand identity and brand strategy that is more reflective of where you are as a seed stage company or as a Series A company? And how does that kind of connect to where you want to go and how you see yourself growing into the future? Very common, we see people where it feels like the growth that they've achieved that has allowed them to get to Series B doesn't necessarily match the kind of the brand identity and the brand strategy that they have, and maybe doesn't also match kind of what their capabilities and output look like on the communications front as well. So it's really about taking a step back, looking forward to what you want to achieve and what you want the brand to be, and making sure that you're updating things and adjusting everything so that it reflects where you are. One common thing I think that we also see is that companies change, right? And brands change and evolve. Maybe the nature of your team changes, maybe your customers change, maybe what you're trying to achieve changes fundamentally, right? And so you want to make sure that you're adjusting your brand to really reflect that, right? That's going to allow you to go out into the world and tell your story authentically. It's going to allow you to deliver really strong, consistent messages to your customers and to different stakeholders. It's going to provide the basis for which you can go out and achieve more success, right? So that's really the most important thing I think to be thinking about at that stage is where you want the brand to go, how it's changed since you kind of last addressed it and kind of put the building blocks together, and then what you kind of need to do to get there. And of course, finding the right partners is really important part of that equation as well.